Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I know we're a few minutes early, but sure, we have a good bit to talk about tonight. I just paused this for the moment. No, not pause, but turned off. Just want to see, do I have everything that, yeah, I should have it. Yeah, it's probably more stuff we could add on. Because we haven't properly really live streamed for must be 3 weeks. So, like, done this, like, talking about different things. Because yeah, obviously Saturday we were talking about the event, and then all over the place pretty much. Hello, Sean. You're here early today. You've been literally watching the time. You've been literally watching the YouTube um, page homepage of fresh every 10 seconds to make sure you're here on time today. Let me see. Just have that. That's fine. Yeah, 100%. Um, got notification. Got notification. Wow, lovely. That's probably the first time ever, is it? Jeez, we have to have a celebration. YouTube's working. I must have done something right. Yo, Brian, how are we doing? I done something right. YouTube's happy with me. Oh, for some reason they're happy with me today. That probably will change by the end of this live stream. YouTube won't be happy. Um, like, say nothing to you more. No, it. Um, but yeah, we just do the usual thing. We chat among ourselves for 10 minutes. We have about a million things to talk about. Well, not literally a million things, but yeah, quite a bit. Because again, we've been literally everywhere. We've been doing 110 things the last few weeks. So yeah, how are we doing this Wednesday? It was a decent enough day weather-wise. So I know weather is far right nowadays. Apparently, if you talk about the weather, you're far right. We talk about that later on. But yeah, discussing the weather nowadays is far right. Or question the weather forecasts are far right. You know, the usual thing. You know, we went from immigration as far right, to the weather as far right. Big jump. The weather now is far, like straight away. YouTube's not going to be happy with me. So yeah, everything's far right pretty much. The weather, everything's becoming far right. Or so-called far right. The usual. Um. So Sinn Féin is really outdoing themselves with that. They're really outdoing themselves there. Um. I'm just thinking that it's quite funny when you think about it. Liam Boylan. Um, so yeah, we're looking forward to our new overseers, the government in the UK. So we're going to have a new. We're not. They're not new. A lot of them are not new. The same old fuckers that were there before. Excuse my language, but pretty much the same people that was there before. A few independents, and that's about it. That's pretty much it. A few new faces for Fianna Fáil, a few new faces for Fine Gael. That's about it. Nothing really new. Basically, same old, same old. Uh, Nothing really has changed, in my opinion. Maybe something will change, but I don't think so. Maybe we see, but I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you. We shall see. That's probably my notification. I don't know why it sends me a notification. Like YouTube sends me a notification to tell me that I'm live. I don't know why it does that. Like just to say you're live. Like obviously I'm live because I'm literally doing it myself. So I don't know why it does that. Like literally, my Gmail account is linked to my YouTube channel. It's for whatever reason always does that for some reason. Don't know why. Probably something to it. Um. So who knows? Um. Yeah. Let me see. The 15th of January already. Think about that for a second. Uh, we're already halfway through January. You know, it's insane to take. Like, like when you really sit down and think about it, you're like, where does that time go? TD simulator 30. No, we won't want that. We don't want that. There'll be no addition. You'd just be sitting in the doll doing fuck all. So you'd be paying €50 for the game, and the only thing you do is sit there and listen to Gumby, like doing nothing in the door bar. That's what you do. Drink 50 pints in the door bar and stuff like that, and then rob people blind and stuff like that. That'd be the simulator. It'd be some simulator. Um, Being a crook in the game, of course. But don't give them ideas, so they probably will fucking the government probably will make a game like that and spend billions on it. So for a few things, a few minutes of a game. Like the German government spots us games and stuff like that. You probably, I don't know if you remember, we played the Couch Simulator uh, a good while ago now. At this stage, about a year or so, 2 year maybe. And that was sponsored by the German government. Yeah, like sponsored the game. They didn't develop the game, but they sponsored it. Um, so the Irish government might do the same. It'd be something the Irish government would do. Um, even though I don't know why they did it, but sure. A lot of elections still going to happen. The German elections coming up too. Speaking of Germany, um, so yeah, we should see what happens there too. Just randomly afterwards, just said Germany was thinking of that. So we're just it's just going on 7 now. So yeah, no fun with anybody, no crack. We're not crack, like we're not quite literally crack, but any fun. I have to emphasize that too because I'm going to O'Connor might be involved. Because there was a lot of drugs boats the last few days around Ireland, around Dublin particularly mainly. So I have to emphasise that, and Galway Street O'Connor might take me up the wrong way. I said we probably will get started now in about 2 minutes or so. We usually just wait around for a few minutes because, as soon as I get into discussing something, somebody will come in and be like, what are you talking? That's always the way. So that's usually why I wait about 10 minutes. Because, you'd be in the middle of discussing something. And then somebody be like, what are you discussing? And then you have to start all over again. Rinse and repeat pretty much. Because it happens more frequently than you think. Hello, how are we doing? How are we keeping? How are we keeping this Wednesday evening? Wednesday, yeah, we would say Wednesday evening. It's only 7 o'clock. So. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. That happened over the weekend. So we get around to that. Don't worry, we will get around to that at some stage. Because that's probably the biggest thing happening in Cavan at the moment. Just give me a moment. Just do this here. Martin to be. They're just reading up on this. Me, how Martin to be Taoiseach now, and yeah, okay. So we have to go through this fucking program for government. This bullshit, pretty much first. Excuse my language, but it's pretty much all bullshit. We'll just go through it anyway. So. Yeah, it was the sun. Yeah, it was the sun. At the time, like when it first happened, I didn't know was it the sun. I thought somebody broke in. My first reaction was somebody broke in and attacked, but it was the sun. For whatever reason, he done it. We don't know why. Well, the Galts know why, but probably the only public don't know. We probably know soon enough, but what it was over. But apart from that, there's not really much. There's a lot of rumors, but nothing really concrete, and I don't really want to get into rumors that most likely some of them are not true and stuff, and it wouldn't be fair. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, you told me about that the other night. Yeah, I actually heard something about that, but I don't think I'll be watching. I'll probably be in my bed. Because it'd probably be later. Like probably would it be 12 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe 3 o'clock. I don't think it'd be up. I don't think so. It'd be different if it was happening maybe now or watch it. It'd be 10 p.m. Oh, I don't think about it anyway. I don't think I will watch it. If I happen just to see it, I'll watch it. If I happen just to come across it, maybe on YouTube. But most likely, not probably watch it. To be done, maybe I will. I'll probably see a video of it anyway later on. To make sense. Bad gameplay, but we're not playing any of that tonight. No, we're not playing any because we have a lot to discuss tonight. We probably will do another game and live stream. I don't know. We see not Saturday, maybe we see Friday night. That's my hello, Shawnee. So yeah, Friday night. Friday night. Yeah, we see Friday night about doing a game and live stream. And then Saturday usual. Arrived yesterday. Very good. I don't know what's the difference between the PS5 Pro and the PS5 Pro and the PS5. I don't know if there's much of a difference. Probably more powerful. For some reason, I assumed that no, it's not the husband. No, the husband's injured too. I thought no. My first reaction when I heard it, I thought somebody broke in. Like it was a break in, and somebody was trying to burgle them or something like that. That's my first reaction was, but then it became clear that it was somebody related to them, etc., etc. So you get what I'm saying. We'll get into it. We'll talk more about it later on, I suppose, in terms of that. But there's very little, I suppose, that's out in the public, I suppose, in it. It's not huge. Well, not worth the upgrade if you already have it. But yeah, I don't think I upgraded now to be told answer. Yeah, we'll go to this now. It probably might lag a bit, so just bear with it because there's a lot of things open at the moment on my screen and stuff like that. I don't know. I suppose we don't know. There's a lot of rumors, as I say. Like it'd be different if there's one story, I'd be able to say it, but I don't want to say anything now because there's 3 or 4 stories I'm hearing back, and it's going around. And this was said, and the other thing was said. It's not really appropriate to go around as long as they have the person that did it. That's the main thing, and there doesn't seem to be any doubt to the person that did it. Like, there's no really argument about that. I don't think. Like everybody's universally saying it was the fellow they have, which that's the thing. So yeah, obviously the first thing we talk about is the program, like the government formations. So as I said in the video earlier on, Mikey Healy is going to get basically a junior minister in the Department of Agriculture. Danny Healy is going to support the government, so pretty much they will be propping up the government. Mikey Healy being a minister and Danny Healy supporting the government, propping up the government, no government job, but so he's basically taking Papa Hackett's really role. If you remember Hackett of the Green Party, she got the boot too. So he's pretty much taking her job there. So yeah, we'll just go through this. I know it's probably all bullshit. Like they never go through half of these things. So the government is planning to phase out the means test, which I'm sure everybody agreeing with. It's very cruel. The means test for carers, etc., etc. Which Christmas? Again, there's no timeline for this. When are they going to do it? Next week? This week? Next month? You get what I'm saying? Like you never can go by it. They'll probably never do it. Like half of the things here they talk about is just waffle, pretty much. It's just waffle. Nothing ever happens, pretty much. Particularly, we'll have to do this because this was one of the main things Fine Gael particularly promised for business owners, that we reduce the VAT from 12% to 9%, so they'll have to do it. So Martin to become Taoiseach now until to 2027, then Simon Harris takes over. So pretty much it's the same as before, rotating Taoiseach. The same bollocks again. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. So yeah, pretty much Fianna Fáil hold 8 senior minister positions, Fine Gael 7, because Fianna Fáil had the most seats. So they're talking bullshit here. They aim to provide 300,000 jobs and homes by 2030. That's all bullshit, to be told, because they simply can't build a hen house, let alone fucking build a house, to be told. So I don't believe it. Especially when we talk about this in Dublin, the 600 council houses were delayed. Like this is just constantly all over the system. It's the same in Cavan. They talk about building new houses in the town, and then obviously planning and stuff. There's planning objections, and then it just drags on pretty much. So you never be done pretty much. So we just go through some of it. So straight away they're on about this. So it's always a good start. Independent Ireland talking with the Taoiseach, probably looking for votes to get in, like to get comfortably in. Sinn Féin not happy, upset as usual. But yeah, so this is the mental health. This is the thing I'm very concerned about, as I said before, about CAMS. For children. Now, obviously, it's a joke, Cams, to be totally honest. The system is fucked. The same as everything in this fucking country. Excuse my language. Um, so yeah, this is all dandy and well and good, but this is the problem. They won't pay the staff extra. Simple as that. There's no such thing as here. I don't see anything about pay rises for the staff because that's the problem. They won't pay the people. It's all right doing anything else, but they don't have the councillors or anything to staff the place. Like in Cavan, they can't get people to look after these people. And same with Cherry Orchard up in Cherry Orchard Hospital there. They can't get people. And not even that too. Um, Again, in Cavan, you wait 5 months just to be seen, not even to be given a medication, just to be referenced, and nothing's changed really, pretty much. So they can talk all they want about reforming this, reforming that. It's still not going to make any difference. The only thing that's going to make a difference with CAMS if you knock the whole lot of it and build it from the ground up again, because the system in it is rotten. To be totally honest, the same as the majority of the fucking state. It's just fucking all rotten. So it's all yada 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 yada. Pretty much always said before, nothing's going to be achieved. Mary Butler probably still in this stuff for mental health. Hello, Tony. Hello, Trends. But pretty much Mary Butler's going to be still there. Like, I have a funny feeling it's going to be Mary Butler to be still the Minister for Mental Health, even though she should be gone. Mary Butler shouldn't be there. She shouldn't have got elected in the first place, and she's no addition. There's no addition. Like, as I said to you before, what's so sad, which is a voluntary group, they were promised funding. I think they're getting it now, slowly. But Mary Butler promised them funding like before Christmas, there, November. I think they're getting their funding now, thankfully. But still, it took a long wait for them to get the emergency funding, especially because, again, it was nearly closed down. Yeah, still imagine. But we go through this is only the first few pages, but it probably should be the top thing. Wouldn't you agree, Sean? But I don't think they want to touch with the 4 power. But see, again, it's the problem with it. Majority of Irish people, the election. There wasn't that big of it was on paper a big issue, but it didn't materialize, if that makes any sense. Like, take for example, if Gavin Pepper or something like that was elected, um, there would be a bigger discussion about it, if that makes any sense. Do you get what I'm saying? So they can kind of push it to one side, because at the end of the day, the main thing I hear every day is not you hear immigration obviously now and again, but the main thing, particularly for young people, is the cost of living too. That's the main thing, and then housing, obviously. Like, a lot of people are worried about themselves. I suppose, as I said to you before, I don't know if you were here that time I said it, but at the end of the day, when you can't feed your family and stuff and you're facing eviction, the main thing is getting a house, getting a roof over your head, At least with me, it's the main issue, migration and stuff like that, because, I'm doing well enough financially and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but a lot of people live on the day to day, pretty much. If that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense. A lot of people are more worried about the back pocket, I suppose. So the saying about teacher, this is to do with primary schools, but this is the thing to do with primary schools. The saying about the ratio of teachers. This is the thing, but this is the thing they're not talking about. The reason why this is happening because there's not enough teachers. All the teachers are leaving. Like, the schools in Cavan, they're desperate for teachers. They're desperate. They're crying out for teachers. They can't get substitute teachers. They can't get anybody because they're all off to Australia. There was this teacher in the town there, right? And she's going to Canada at the end of this year, but after the end of this school year. And she's a national school teacher. And she was offered hundreds of thousands, nearly more money, to go to Australia to be a teacher than here. So why would she stay here, pretty much? So basically, she's off, and she's only a young teacher. About 25, no, a bit older, maybe near 30s, give or take. And she has a big job in Australia in a school, bigger money, more money than she'll probably ever get here. So, why would she stay here, I suppose? That's the question. And nothing here to address that. It's all waffle. It's all just waffle. Because at the end of the day, it's not addressing the issues, in terms of education. There's nobody to teach the children. That's the problem. So obviously, it's talking about extreme weather, etc., all that. But this is the thing, like, for years they've been going on in Cork, particularly, when the tide comes in, the floods come, and nothing has ever been done in Cork. So it's all waffle, and talk about it. Nothing ever changes. Like, this clown he should be long gone, to be totally honest. But yeah, so one long story short, when they say 30,000 is only going to probably be at most maybe 10,000, because they couldn't build a hen house, to be told, feeding 4 feet a year. They couldn't build anything. You own nothing and be happy, in other words. And like, there's a lot more. There's not like Oh, his regarding like immigration. Not mentioning the program for government. Yeah, yeah. See, they don't want to address it. They don't want to address the elephant in the room. They kind of just pushing it away. It'd be interesting now to see what the carbon tax. The one thing I say, the carbon tax is going to be interesting because the Green Party are gone, and the Green Party were the biggest. Even though Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael pretty much agree with them every step of the way, they didn't fight it. And petrol's gone up, as you know, from the first of this month. So it'll be interesting to see, especially Danny and Micah Healy-Way. Particularly Danny Healy-Way, he doesn't believe in climate change, etc., etc. Um, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here in terms of the climate, etc., etc. But I don't think anything could change. I don't think the Healy. I think the Healy-Ways, I just agree with them. As long as they get a few roads in Kerry, etc., etc. Yeah, like everybody's immigrating. Like, yeah, well, it's not even that too. I know so many young people. I've been a young person myself. They simply can't make ends meet, Johnny. I might as well be honest. They simply can't. There's young people I know who've done the driving license and they're trying to buy it. They're trying to get a car, a second-hand car, and they've been. I know one person who he's just got his car right, and the insurance crowd are fucking him. The insurance crowd are fucking him. They're looking for thousands and thousands of euro, and him only working a few hours a week, pretty much. What I'm trying to say. So he's been fucked in every corner. He got his license, and now he's been fucked by his insurance, and then he has to pay off the loan he took off the bank for buying the car. So he's been fucked from every angle, pretty much. What I'm trying to say. And then the petrol's gone up. So and he can't afford an electric car into that. So he's been fucked in every direction, pretty much. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not that, but the young people have been fucked in every angle, pretty much. Excuse my language, but it quite literally is. Just in that instance alone, he's been fucked in every way. And not to mention, he can't even buy a house or own a house. He lives with his parents. He never has any ambitions. He never be able to own his own house. Pretty much, what I'm trying to say. It's that issue alone. That young people have been fucked to hell and to back. And it's the truth because I see it all the time. Like, I'm probably nearly the last one, nearly in my year, nearly left in this godforsaken country, But see, I just don't care. Simple as that. I never really care. I'd be happy owning nothing and be happy. But I don't. I'm not going to sit in the sidelines and say nothing about the great, the World Economic Forum, etc., with the own nothing and be happy policy. Uh, we have to fight for other people who want to own stuff. Who? Oh, do you mean the people coming in from Timbuktu? Yeah, but no, he's not getting everything paid for. I'll tell you that he's not. He wish he was. He wish he was, but he's not. He's getting fucked at every angle. You know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense why everybody's coming in. Everybody from Timbuktu is coming in, and all the Irish people going out. It's far from door. It doesn't make any sense. Sure, look, this country doesn't make any sense. But I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. But he is like that's just a young man. He's probably be 23, right? And he's getting fucked over. He's trying to get his first car. I'm sure you all remember his first car. You were probably proud. It wasn't a big ask, but the bank is literally fucking him, right? Because he took a loan to get the car. Then he has to pay back the bank, and then the fucking insurance crowd's coming looking for money. Then he has to pay for his fuel, his petrol, and all that. He's getting fucked there, and he's getting fucked for tires, etc., etc. Like he's getting fucked over in every conceivable way. And then the carbon tax is coming along and fucking them over too. You know, you get what I'm saying? It's not easy, and that's just on his car. That's not even talking about getting a house. So it's too much of a struggle. Like I'm not saying like things should be easy for people. We shouldn't be just handing people stuff for free. Anybody, even Irish citizens, you had to work for your keep. But you should give them a chance because I think it's just very unfair. That's what I think it is. Because he is doing his best. He is doing his best. I wouldn't mind if he was doing nothing or anything like that. But he's doing his best. I can see the man's doing his best, and he's getting fucked over. Like it's just plain and simple. That's what's happening. He's doing his best. He's doing as much as he can. But sure, look, when the man is doing as much as he can, you shouldn't be kicking him when he's down. To be totally honest, that's the way I see it. And give him a bit of leeway. Like it's not too much of a ask to give him a small bit of leeway. Am I going back up the way? So yeah, this is the new thing, the government. So pretty much drugs, pretty much are going to be probably legalized. What I mean to say about that, those in possession of drugs for personal use will be instead of to the court system and stuff. And this straight away is going to be disaster for me. And the reason why I say it, not for me personally, but you can see it straight away. Look around your hospice in Cavan, General, into that. The health service is literally on its last legs, pretty much. The HSE, uh, it's literally collapsing, like it's literally fucking buckling, and about to fall to bits. And like say somebody's found with possession of drugs, right? And they're sent to the local GP, right? And they're sent to the hospital, sent to some program in the HSE. That's going to put the health service under more pressure. So so the HSE is probably going to collapse because the amount of people going to be found for drugs, they'd be sent to their GP and then there'd be a backlog. That's what I think is going to happen. Uh, Electrification of transport, etc., etc. There's going to be new transport police kind of thing. So they just go on bullshitting with economic growth and all that, yada yada yada. The usual crack. Like I think they just fucking put the words down for no reason. Um, Yeah, so I don't know. I don't trust them on this. I don't think they will do it. It sounds too good to be true. Because again, I know so many people who are a bit older than me who have children, and they're out so much money in childcare. So I don't believe it. I don't believe them. I don't trust them to do it. They're only talking shit, I think, um, as they usually do. Um, they're talking about tackling social welfare abuse, but I don't think that's ever going to change. Nothing ever change there. I don't think. So basically, yada 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 yada. Promise, promise, promise. Fucking never going. Nothing's ever going to be. Maybe a few things to be kept, but pretty much it's all bullshit. I'm not going to go through anything else. If I see anything that's watered down, I'll point it out to you. But yeah, pretty much bullshit. All of it's pretty much shit. Pretty much nicest possible way. Hello, later. How are you doing? Hello, David. How are you doing? But yeah, no, pretty much nothing's going to change. Nicest possible way. Because I don't see it. Simple as that. It's all just kind of talk. It's all bullshit, pretty much. Like I've heard it all before. That's what I'm trying to say. To be totally honest with you, we heard it all before. Yeah, we get into that eventually some stage through tonight. But it's good news, just in the briefly when I'm here. It's good news that that there's a ceasefire that we'll find there. Hello, Senator, and Trends, of course, too. I meant to say hello to this. Yeah, but it's good news, of course, there's a ceasefire. Hopefully, touch wood, from what I heard that we see, it seems like there's good indicators, so it's good to see. Well, attack on anybody. I think I know what you're referencing, but attack on anybody, like regardless of who it is. If you physically attack them or go to kill them in a house or anything, that shouldn't be tolerated in any part of so regardless of who they are. It shouldn't happen. Simple as that. I think anybody would agree with that. Nobody should be going to try and kill somebody or attack anybody. Uh, Nobody should be doing, regardless of who they are. Nobody should be doing that. I don't know where to go from here. So, and there's that much stuff on the screen. We'll talk about it, and we were talking about this earlier on. So you probably heard this over the weekend about this man that killed his mother and he attacked his father, just up there in Ballyconnor and County Cavan, just really not too far away from me, about 30 minutes away from me. So we don't know what was the cause. We don't know, and I say to people not to speculate anyway on it. But yeah, pretty serious. She was stabbed multiple times. So the father's in a pretty serious condition too. So I don't know what possessed them to do it or what made them do it, but so I don't know. But he'd been caught this Friday by like, so we probably hear more soon. So I don't know what was to do with. So, but they definitely have the person who did it. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. So they have the person in custody. So there's not much more I can say about it. There's nothing. There's loads of rumors, of course, but I don't want to say something that isn't true. It's not fair to say something that isn't true about this case. So we suppose to wait and see. But of course, we pray for the family involved. Particularly, it was very violent and very tragic event. To say the woman of 55 has grandchildren, etc., etc. Tragic thing. especially just after Christmas and especially just the beginning of the new year. Ooh, sorry. Hello, Assassin. Good evening. How are you? And hello to your mum too. How are you doing? Uh, yeah, I don't know what possessed him to do now. To be totally honest, I don't know. Why would he like to his own mother and father? It's hard to know what go through some of the people's heads. Some people's heads. It's insane to think. Um, so just speaking, I should have probably brought this up earlier on. So this is to do with Dublin. So we were just talking with House, and the government were just thought very hypocritically. The next sentence came out with this. So 600 council houses in Dublin now pretty much lost. And what do you mean? You're probably like, why do you mean lost? So pretty much they're not going to be. They're pretty just, as it says here, 600 where almost 1,700 promised public codes have not been delivered. So already Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. So this is from the last government, pretty much. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. These houses were promised 1,700. So it's about 2,000, give or take. They haven't been delivered. So why are they going to? Why can you trust them now? That's what I'm trying to say. Because every target they said has been fucked, pretty much. And a lot of these houses, as you see, the north and the city are very decapitated. And, they could be done up. They could be done really nice if there was an effort. Again, there's no effort to do it. Simple as that. There's just no effort to do it. Simple as that. That's the problem. They just don't care to do it. So yeah, it doesn't make much sense. And the government, the next thing, they're saying it's going to be 300,000 by 2030. The government says there's going to be 300,000 new homes. And you see this already. That's not a. This is and straight after that, just a few minutes after that came out, this came out. So that's just kind of tells you what's the next few years going to look like in housing. Because let's be fair, nothing's going to change. And the fact of the matter is, there's so many people coming in every day of the week. We'll never be able to keep up with the numbers, pretty much. Even if we're building 1 million houses a year, at this stage, with the amount of people coming in every year, it's nearly 30 to 40,000 probably coming in. Every year. Where are these people going to go? Nobody ever asked this question, but where are they going to go? Are they going to sit on the roof or what? That's what I'm trying to say. So you'll never be able to keep up with the demand. Demand is through the roof, pretty much. But yeah. But it's sad to see buildings, that could be used for people. People in need, etc., etc. Are just rotting away. Like you see, they're rotting. Like they're rotting away. Once upon a time, there used to be probably lovely houses. And lie and abandoned. It's a sin to see it. It really is, and people are suffering. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you seen there, they said there were going to be 1,700 just in that area alone, and none of them were delivered. None of them, not one. And they're saying now about 300,000 houses by 2030, and you've seen it there. None of them delivered in that area. And the same in Cavan. I can point out 3 or 4 of them. They said about, we're going to build 20 houses here. We're going to build 30 houses here. None of them have been started yet. And that's 4 or 5 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So they're just delusional in terms of the numbers. Because at most last year was built. At most probably 5,000 houses were built last year. I think they said we need, there wasn't a report out that said that we need about 15,000 houses every year or something like that. Oh, no, it was more than that. It was 32,000 houses every year to keep up with the demand. 32,000. So we're not even close to that every year. That's every year. That's not every 5 years. Every year you need 32,000 or so houses. Roughly around that. That's what was said. Roughly. And not a hope we're even doing that at the moment. We're barely 5,000, at most 10,000. Because this is the thing they won't think about too. They're saying, throwing all these figures out about housing and stuff. There's no builders. Nobody can get a builder for love of money because they're all going to Australia. Like you have to think about that too. You can't build a house in the prayer on the will. If that makes any sense. But speaking of prayers and whims and stuff, so I remember Enda Kenny saying, "I end the trolley crisis." 15 years on, not much has changed. So pretty much, it's not that bad in Cavan. It was worse the last few nights, but it was not that bad this month. So 10. So nationally, there's 670 people lying on trolleys across the country. This is just in Cavan. But the other night, it was something like nearly 50 people or something like that. Over the weekend, now it was bad. Not this weekend, the other weekend, last weekend, pretty bad. People with the flu, etc., etc. But it's not that bad today, thankfully. But I often seen cavan general. By the time my father was in it too, it was a lot worse. But thankfully, it's not that bad at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty bad around the whole country, especially in Limerick. Limerick is pretty bad. It's one of the worst hospitals in the country in terms of trolleys. People just lying on trolleys. People lying outside in some cases. Um, so my advice to people, unless it's an emergency, please don't attend acts in emergency. Obviously, of course, I know people wouldn't just go in with a nail, just a small cut in the nail or something. And nobody would do that. But what I'm trying to say is this shouldn't be happening in the first world country. This is still going to happen. Nothing's going to change with the new government. Pretty much, this is still going to be This is going to be the normal thing. Nothing will ever change. Hello, Sabbath. How are you doing? I think that's how I pronounce it. Hello, how are we doing? Hope we're having a good. I nearly said Saturday. I hope we have a good Wednesday. We're too close to the week. We want the weekend to come already. You're talking about the ice cream, in the winter. So I have good news. I suppose it's kind of good news and bad news. I don't know did I talk about this yet. So the Garda station in Killinlock, if I remember, they were talking about making it an operational centre for Garda Síochána. I think it was the drugs unit. I don't know, maybe the armed support unit. I don't know. I can't remember. But there was a meeting anyway held there before December. So the Garda station in Killinlock could be open some days for the moment. After that, it's supposed to take it day by day. But it's good. I suppose only for the outcry of the public. It wouldn't be like it's only part time. Used to be a lot more open than what it is. But at least they have something at the moment to go with. So that's what's happening there. So it's a step in the right direction because originally the plan was they weren't going to have any guards that would open at all to the public. So for the moment they're going to this until the end of January, and then I think they're going to have another talk and discussion and all that. But as I said to you in that video, I made a video about it. They should have done this meeting already before they discussed this. The fact that they wanted to kind of do it and kind of push the community away wasn't good enough. So, but thankfully they did have a meeting when this came out and all that, and the public backlash got to them. But they should have done it from day one, instead of causing all this disruption. So I don't know, but anyway. But for the moment, it's good news. We see what happens after that. But I presume they will still go ahead like with this every few years, which is better probably than not. The community's happy enough. But the original plan was they weren't going to have any Garda station. It was just going to be like an office for the drugs unit or the armed support unit. So like a unit, like not an active Garda station where you can walk into and talk to the guard or whatever. So that's good. There's some good news in that. How am I? I'm not too bad. Sorry again if I'm ever reading something and stuff. I don't see the comments. I only until I flick back. So other good news, I suppose too. I know this is probably irrelevant to the major things, but I suppose for people in Cavan, it's good news stuff like, particularly in Belturbet. So the bus stops every hour. So as you know, and Sean probably knows this already, some of the buses that go to Donegal, this is the Donegal bus, bypass Belturbet. So they have to stop every hour now in Belturbet, which is good. So a lot of people are very happy about this in Belturbet. So everybody's delighted, pretty much, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to give good news. The people are happy with the public transport, with the tax dollars. Because again, Bus Éireann is owned by the state. It's a state company. So people are happy. People's taxes are going to good use. Let's put it that way. So that's a good thing. That's a good news to say. Where am I now? So this is to do with Cotil in County Cavan too. So they're talking about the Bank of Cotil. Cotil years ago used to be full of banks, and it's old banks lying idle, as I say. So they're talking about at the moment, but I don't know. They're talking about for community and training and council, these like a community centre, kind of community facility. Hopefully, it does be turned into a community facility. I don't see why. I know some people are raising alarm bells that it could be used for the direct provision there, but I don't think so. Because I've looked into it, and I think they're going ahead with the community centre. It's going to take 9 billion years for them to do it, but I do. They are going ahead with it. Like they are going ahead with a community facility, so it's not going to be a direct provision centre. Not that I know of, anyway. because I've looked into it already in my own time, and I don't think so. Because the funding's been whether it's talk about grads and talk about this and talk about that. Um, so we should see, but I do think they're going to do this because the people on the ground too are saying the same thing. So what I say to people is, I don't think there's any weight to it. I know some people have jumped to conclusions about it, but I don't think there's any weight to in terms of the direct vision. I don't think it will be turned into that. Um, there's not really any evidence to suggest that. To be totally honest, in any regard. Just to say that, because I know some people would ask me about it. For what I have seen and for who I've talked to about it, it doesn't look like it's going to be a community facility. So, which is good news. I'm happy to see that's going to go towards the community, as I say, community area, tourism, exhibition, or that's boardrooms and stuff. It's good to see it being invested in to the community. So, but obviously, take 9 million years for it to happen. But no, that's what I'm saying, because I know some people would ask me about it, thinking that it will probably be the acquisitions. That, as far as I know, I can probably pretty much 99.9% say it's not going to be. So yeah, these people are going mad in the roads. Like people in Cavan are just mad in the roads. Like there's a motors going 202 miles over the speed limit, like 202 miles an hour over the speed limit. Like some people are just crazy. Like you wonder why there's accidents and stuff like that. Like people in Cavan just go mad in terms of driving. And not even Cavan, just around the country too. And you wonder why people are getting killed on the roads and stuff like that. Particularly this in the N3 in Virginia, 140 in a 60 kilometer zone. Like, this is fucking insane. And then, 101 miles an hour in a 50 kilometer zone. Like, if something went out in front of that car at that speed, you couldn't stop in time, and that car could end up in the ditch. Like, it's insane. And then the crisp period of 202 kilometers an hour in a 100 kilometer zone. Like, you would be dead on impact if you hit anything, God forbid. Like, it's serious. Like some people just, I don't know what's wrong with them. But Fianna Fáil wants to keep like people to take regular drugs, etc., etc. This would be more of this if that happens. Everybody should talk about food. So obviously, just going, I should have probably talked about Zedo on. So obviously, there's a few local TDs in Cavan here. I think they're getting big jobs. Niamh Smith, the local Fianna Fáil TD here, Fianna Fáil TD, is thinking she's going to get a big government job. So she might, I don't know, she might get she might replace Head of Humphreys. I don't know. I mean, social protection or something, the community development, maybe. We see. Because I presume they would want to keep a government minister in Cavan and Monaghan, because Head of Humphreys was always some way in ministry or whatever. So I presume that's what they do. I presume. And then obviously the Guardians going on, but Ireland's two central white parties. If these are central white parties, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, if these are set the white, I don't know what to tell you. But that's pretty much all I want to say now. So this is to do with TikTok. Now I hate TikTok, as you know. But yeah, TikTok is going to be banned in the United States. Not much loss because it's all just nonsense that's on TikTok, the majority of cases. Some things are useful on TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I never use a Chinese communist app. But some things are useful and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Ireland does ban it, because again, you couldn't trust China in terms of that, because taking people's data, etc., etc. So we see what happens. But long story short, for people asking if it's going to have any effect on Ireland, because particularly TikTok has its European headquarters, of course, here, because they pay no tax and all that, and the big data set is here and all that. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Purely, I'd say here. I don't think the Irish government ever will do anything about it, pretty much, in the nicest possible terms, unless Santa Mountain gets involved. So I'd mentioned this before. The Irish Navy are going out to sea with no guns. So yeah, great stuff. So one ship in the whole country is out on patrol. That's all, to patrol. I think it's 1 million or so outer miles. So you see these guns, like the main gun, the main armored, and then there's machine guns kind of on the side of the ship. They can't use them. They can't use them because they're not working, because they haven't been maintained. So we're basically sending out fishing ships, pretty much, with no guns working. And this is great. And only one ship in the whole country. And all the guns don't work. And you're probably wondering, why is this? Because they won't pay people to maintain the ships. That's the problem. They won't pay people. That's the thing. They used to have so many people qualified to maintain guns, uh, but all of them have left the defense force because they're not getting paid. Like they're not getting money, and that's the problem. It's not like they're talking about equipment, they're talking about buying this, they're talking about buying that. But at the end of the day, when you're not paying people, this is what's happening. So this used to be 20 people, right? The ordnance group section is down to a single technician, and the whole Irish Navy used to have 20 technicians, fully qualified, fully trained, down to a single technician. That used to be a few years ago. Used to have 20. Now they only have one left. That's all. That's all. They only have one left in the whole country, and obviously he can't fucking do everything. Because it's a complicated system. It's not like years ago where people had to manually tone the guns, etc., etc. It's all done by computers. There's a computer system on the bridge that manually tones the guns, etc. It's all computers and things. And obviously, then you have to maintain the shaft of the gun, etc., etc. Then the springs and stuff underneath the gun and all that, and then the machine guns to obviously make sure they're working, not jammed, etc., etc. It is a good bit of work for all the ships. If he was doing all the ships, but thankfully there's only one ship. But still, nonetheless, it's going out with no guns. Even though the Chief of Staff of the Irish Defence Forces, Colonel Lieutenant Sean Clancy, the Chief of Staff, he promised the Irish people that it would not happen, that an Irish Navy ship wouldn't go to sea without weapons of war ready for action. And he was talking shit, pretty much, to be totally honest with you, because it's gone to sea without any guns ready, So, yeah, it's a great, the Irish Navy, the Irish Army, we were able to defend ourselves. We need Sana. That's the only person that can solve this, to be totally honest. So there you go. And you wonder why there's drugs and stuff in the country. You wonder why. Uh, Jesus Christ. Radio. That's the most unparliamentary language. Speaking about immigration and stuff like that, I don't know how this person got into the country. So convicted terrorist showed willingness to kill for ISIS is relocated to Ireland after release from UK jail. First of all, where's Helen McAtee? Because this fellow shouldn't be here if he's a convicted terrorist. They're all being screened and looked at, Helen McAtee says. They're all being checking their passports, they're all good citizens. How are they coming? How is somebody that's a convicted terrorist just watching into the country, and allowed to stay? It's beggars belief. And the wonder why there's crime and killings and stuff like that. When literally somebody that's a convicted terrorist, I wouldn't mind if we didn't know his sympathies and stuff like that. But we simply know what he's been convicted, he's in prison for it, and we're letting them waltz into the country. It's great stuff. And if you didn't pay your TV license, you'd be executed in this country for that, you get what I'm saying. It's insane. When you really sit down and think about it, it's ludicrous. And obviously the mainstream media not asking any questions and why this fellow was allowed to come here. There's nothing to be said. The Irish independence is like he happened just to turn up. He just happened to come here. he just turned up. What are we supposed to do? We give him a house and everything. That's what it's like. It's insane when you really think about it. Because he is a convicted terrorist. I don't think many countries in the world would be like, do you want to take a convicted terrorist? A lot of them would say no. And so rightly so, because why would any country in its right mind be like, yes, we'll take him? Beggars belief. Doesn't make any sense. Well, we're just having a conversation about food. We might become the food channel. But yeah, so moving to Finland just for a second. We have more things to talk about in a while too. So I talked about this in the community post. One of the Finns party, the True Finns, caused disturbance on the plane because, again, there's never a dull moment with the True Finns. And basically fucking threw glasses around and caused an upward disruption for 40 minutes. Not in Helsinki airport, it was Oulu or something like that, up in the near top of Finland, up in Lapland direction. Threw stuff around, abused members of the public that was on the plane too, Finnish taxpayers, because he was fucking out of it, like quite literally out of it. And then obviously being rude to start kicking people, like fucking ludicrous. And the police had to come in, the Finnish police had to come in and lift a sitting member of the Finnish parliament by his feet and his hands out of the plane. So it's a good representation of the True Finns. Meanwhile, in Finland too, with the True Finns, there's drugs in the parliament, because why not at this stage? Um, so yeah, there's basically a fuck ton of drugs in the toilets of the Finnish parliament, pretty much, and of course, there's no word from the True Finns or anything. They're all very quiet at the moment about it. But yeah, so basically, drug den. But the Parliament House now is turned into a drug den in Finland. So, you couldn't write it because it's all just ludicrous what's happening at the moment in Finland. And then you have this is far from the Social Democrats, and it kind of sums up everything. In 2020, Senator Mount was required to take a drug test without any evidence that the Prime Minister had used drugs. Still, Senator Mount took a drug test and got a clean bill of health. Now the drug residue has been found in the toilets of the Parliament. Should all 200 MPs be tested? And the government parties are nowhere to be found. And the same people back then, the same people that were shouting and crying about Sanna Mauen, she didn't take drugs, of course, because she'd done the drug test and all that, and she didn't do it because she would have said it straight, I'm sure. But the same people that were quiet about this are the people in government today, in Finland, like Winko and stuff like that. They were the ones shouting the loudest about it. And there's no word at all about her taking drug tests. There's no word at all about all the members of the Finnish Parliament taking drug tests. There's not a word about. None of them are willing to take a drug test too. It's all just a big mess because it's all came full circle again, and they all look very. It's just a joke. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, nobody knows who did it. Nobody's raising their hand. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's not making any statements. So we're found in the toilet. Nobody's admitting to it. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's saying here, all 200 members of the Finnish Parliament should be tested for drugs. But this is the Social Democrats, the Sanna Mauen's party. Like the government party, weak has nowhere to be found. The Minister of Cities is nowhere to be found asking for this. My point is, and the point this fellow is making to the social, in 2020, Sanna Mauen, when the party video came out, I'm sure you probably remember that, she wasn't required. There was no evidence of her taking drugs or her friends and stuff. She took alcohol, but there was no evidence of her taking drugs. But she took a test without being forced to do it or required to do it or anything like that. She'd done it just to prove that she didn't take drugs, etc., etc. She's done it just to show the public, I'm not being deceitful into that. And there's no word from the government party because the main thing is about this. It was during Christmas Eve, and the government parties had their due in the Parliament on Christmas Eve. So that means it's either one of the government parties. It's not the opposition parties. It's the government. It's either the True Finns or the National Coalition. It's the government parties. That's what I'm trying to say, that we're doing the drugs in the Parliament House. So that's why they don't want to do a drug test, because it's just a joke. And the same test was done during Sanna Mauen's time, just to say too, and that came up with nothing. So it's all just a big confuckery at the highest level. And this is the funny, the saddest thing about it all is, a few weeks before this came out, before a few weeks now, just before Christmas, I suppose. The week with her sitters, she came with her sitters. And cut the funding for support for drug, people seeking help for drugs and stuff like that. No, she would. I say she would admit it because she'd know rightly, and I tell you why. And I can tell by reading in the Sanna Mauen, I suppose she'd know rightly. Like she would be destroyed if it came out of photo of her taking drugs and stuff. Like she'd know. Like she admitted it straight away that she was at the party and stuff like that, even though she did nothing wrong and stuff like that. But you have to understand, Sean, she would think like that, and she would think like that. And she more or less said it before, too, about it, that she had to be honest with people, Finnish people, etc., etc. I don't think she did, and I pursue it, and I think everybody knows she didn't do it. Because she would be destroyed. Like, she would be generally destroyed. Like, if you take Riikka's being destroyed at the moment in Finland, it would have been worse. Because again, the main thing in Finland, this is regardless of anything else, how much money you have, etc., in Finland, the main thing to do with politicians, and as you see particularly now, is about trust. The Finnish public want to trust the prime minister, particularly. It comes like trust in society in Finland too, as I said to you before, about leaving the children in prams on the street and stuff. It comes from the top down. That's what I'm saying. So she knows she'd be gone for good if she done that. I'm sure she knows that, and I'm sure she would have said it straight if she did. Because Finnish people would rather you be honest with them, They're not the kind of people that want to listen to bullshit. They wouldn't listen to the bullshit that's going. Like that's why there's such an uproar about all this, because Finnish people don't want annoyance. They don't want annoyance and bullshit. That's what does happen. Because the true Finns at the moment are talking shite all the time, and Finnish people are just not having it. They're sick of them. They want things to work. They expect things to work. If that makes any sense. So I don't think she did. And if I thought she did, I would say it. But I don't think she did. I think she was honest with people. You remember Boris Johnson saying that there was no parties? I didn't know it was a party, take for example. When the party video came out at Santa Maria, at least straight away she said it was, I was at the party, etc. So even though she broke no laws, etc., etc. But she came out and said it straight and stuff like that. But she didn't. She definitely didn't take drugs because the next day after the party, she took a drug test too. So, she didn't have to, but she done it anyway. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's the fact now that they're not, the same people that were shouting about Santa Mount, allegedly on drugs, etc. Well, not allegedly, of course she wasn't. But you know what I'm saying. The same people that were shouting very loudly about that back then are in government today. That's the thing. But no, I don't think she did it because I think she would know that she would be destroyed forever. If she done that, she would have been destroyed forever. She never would be able to walk the streets of Finland again. She wouldn't be able to. And especially when you look at the ratings and stuff like that. Definitely the weakers, definitely the current Finnish government are on top, and because half of the things they're doing it doesn't make any sense. Just out of it completely. Like that Finnish MEP here, I moved it, but you remember he was on fucking. He's a member of the Finns party. He must have been on something because he was completely out of it, throwing glasses around the plane, abusing members of the public and stuff, and him and sitting member of the Finnish Parliament, and not to mention, then I'm sure you remember less than a year ago, a member of the True Finns party was out of his fucking mind in a nightclub, and shot a gun into the ground of a nightclub, into a crowded nightclub in Helsinki, had a gun on him and shot into the ground because he was that drunk. So, so this is a common trend in the True Finns. That's what I would. But I don't think Sandra was on it. I would generally say it if I did. And there's not really any evidence to suggest it because she took her drug test and no drugs. And I presume it would have showed in the videos too. All the videos came out of it. And then there was a inquiry too into it and they didn't find it. So. Yeah, she admitted to she was drinking. She drank a good bit. She admitted it straight away that she drank a good bit. She said it straight away to people. She didn't hide it. The way Boris Johnson go into the screen. Boris Johnson was like when the party videos came out with 10 hours, but that was a lot worse back then because I remember him sitting in the House of Commons and he was asked directly, was there parties in number 10 Downing Street? And he said there was no parties. There was no parties. And then the videos came out. And then he said, I didn't know it was a party. And then he came out and said, I didn't know it was a party. At least she didn't come out with that. She straight away said it was me in the videos. I was with my friends, etc. She straight away admitted that it was her, etc., etc. Boris Johnson was basically taking people for fools, That's literally, I'm sure people remember that, literally for, and there wasn't any lockdowns or anything like that, so she broke pretty much nothing. And I don't think she was on drugs because one of the people there, one of her friends, would have said something, I'm sure, if she was on drugs and stuff like that. And not to mention, the videos were there too. I'm sure the videos would have showed them on drugs. No, we're not on drugs, but drugs nearby and stuff like that. And I'm sure, again, as I say, she would have probably admitted to it because it would have been better up in Finland, particularly. Over here would be a scandal, but a lot of people would have been happy with it. Well, not happy, but wouldn't have been as angry, I suppose. But nobody really cared about it in Finland when that happened. Nobody really cared. It was a big thing internationally, but it wasn't a big thing, over there. Nobody really passed much remarks on it. But she would have probably said it straight out if that makes any sense. Because, again, it's all about public trust over there. That's what it is. It's all about the trust. As you see at the moment, people don't trust the government because they're literally acting like fucking lunatics. So that's why. That's literally why. And I'm assuming Santa Mara would know. She would know it, I can tell by it. She would rather be honest with people. If she was. And it would have been a bit better for her. She wouldn't probably have to resign even if she was on it, say, for example. And she said it back then. If she was just straight up with people. And I think that's why they didn't turn into a big thing in Finland because people, she said it straight away with me in the videos. I took a few drinks. I was out with my friends, You get what I'm saying? She didn't lie to people. Boris Johnson took people for fools in England. I didn't know it was a party. Imagine being a prime minister, a grown man, and saying I didn't know it was a party with cheese and wine. Or nobody told me it was a party. You being the prime minister. And that's your excuse. Uh, you know, so you know, um, no, I hardly doubt she does. No, like if anything, the Cohen Finnish government is doing lines because they're making up total fucking shite. The Cohen Finnish government, like it's insane what they're coming out with. Like Wika is just talking shit all the time. Um, like they're definitely on something. Like you see there, the true Finns are definitely on something because they're coming out with just lunacy. I probably shouldn't have started, but I don't know how we even started on this. Um, but there was a poet on actually. Funny you say Putin, Tony. Like a lot of people said they'd rather Putin than Winka at the moment, the Minister for Cities. Like a lot of people rather Putin than Winka, to be told. That's how much Winka is hated. Because they just generally think she's worse than Putin at this stage. But no, I just want to say about Zoppin. Just there. But no, I don't think she did it. Like obviously people make mistakes and stuff, but I don't think she did it because she was straight up honest with people. You know what I'm saying? Boris Johnson was being dishonest with people. Even though there was videos, like there was literally videos of Boris Johnson dads, and he said I was at no parties and all that. Like he went on for a long time like that. You get what I'm saying. So I know, but I do think she would be honest because again, especially in Finland, you have to realise. And for the last, it's up until recently, this government, the current Finnish government that's there at the moment, up until recently, it's always been trust in the government, high public trust. For the first time in Finnish history, the government doesn't have the trust they used to. That's what I'm trying to say. And then when you look at the post who was Anna Mountain, she's got more popular. Like it is true, like she's got more popular over the last few months than she did. Well, she was popular beforehand, but she's got more popular now than she was when she was prime minister because people want her back because the current Finnish government are literally destroying people. Like literally driving people mad. Like let's look at the current Finnish government for a second. See. Like the true Finns too are crying about a textbook. So there was the textbook. So pretty much there was to be no queer too, because there was something in the textbook saying about the true Finns, etc., etc., and they kicked up a huge fuss saying that shouldn't be included. So basically, they wanted to be like no queer. And then obviously the speaker, I met this fellow in the Parliament House. He's the Speaker of the Parliament. So again, this is the thing. This is the thing from the. He's a true Finn. He's one of the true Finns. This just tells you everything. It does not approve of drug tests for Web percent. Everybody has their own business. Like, let's be fair for a second. Everybody in Finland gives a fuck about this too. Because at the end of the day, if you're going into the parliament to make speeches and stuff and do a job that the people elected you to do, it is everybody's business. Like it is everybody's business, especially when you're going into the Parliament House to do business for the country. For Finland, if it's Ireland, the same case, you should be on your best behavior. You should be able to conduct your business. For the people, you're being paid by the people. So saying this has not gone down well, pretty much. So it's pretty much tone deaf, pretty much at the same time. So that's why. So again, the true Finns, you can kind of see because they're kind of trying to defend themselves because they kind of know they're fucked. There you go. Everybody has their own business if you're on drugs in the parliament. It's lunacy when you think about that. Also, just in the last few days, too, just to say, also just saying about cutting and stuff like that too. Just when we're on, I don't think you know how much of a lunatics they are. So yeah, they're going to cut 140 million from elderly care in Finland from the public elderly because it's time to cut. So there's going to be 140 million cut from elderly care, just because why not at this stage? Because cutting time. So that's it. So this is literally every day. Like the cutting this, the cutting that, the cut the other. They're just going everywhere cutting stuff. And this is the thing. All these cuts, as I said to you before, they've done hundreds of cuts at this stage. And it's only 547 days or so, give or take. And nothing has changed. The debt has gone up. The debt has gone up more than it ever did when Sanna Marin was there. Imagine all the time Sanna Marin was there, the debt didn't go up as much. But as soon as they came in, they're barely 600 days in government. And the debt has gone up by 20 billion in that time. Like the debt has gone up more than when Santa Mountain was there. So it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know where all this money's going to that they're cutting because it seems to be going into a black hole. It doesn't make any sense. You know, like it is generally lunacy. And you see, like I have a poll. There's a poll from the Helsinki Times. I put it up for you. Like it's pretty telling, like what people take in Finland. And you see when I go over to like, there's a lot of upset because again you have to remember the current Finnish prime minister there at the moment. He has the distinction of only 5% public support in all of Finland. So only 5% of the Finnish public think that he's doing a good job, which is the worst in Finnish history, just to say. Like, that's the worst ever in Finnish history. 5% of the Finnish public think that he's done a good job. Like, the worst ever. Like, ever. Never before has that ever been seen in Finland. As I'm saying. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, speaking of defence force and stuff, you have many black holes too here. Finland again. Yeah, no, yeah, don't start. Sean started me. Blame Sean here. But no, I can't emphasize how lunacy they are. Like, that's what I'm saying. Because it just nothing makes sense to them. Like, it just nothing makes sense. It just generally doesn't. Like, look into it. It's chaos. It's just chaos. Like, more than ever before. Like, they're not over here. We're used to chaos and just shit governments. Finnish people are not used to it. As simple as that. Like, that's what one of them said to me. Like, I'm used to shit governments and stuff. They're not used to it. How many points did they get in my leaving? So that's actually a good question. I can't remember to be totally honest. But I got a good few because it was the time of the predicted grades. So I couldn't tell you now. I could probably find it out. But I couldn't tell you, to be totally honest. I have to look it up. I don't know. I done well enough. I did quite well. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was. Because see, the reason why when you're cleaning the streets and stuff like that, you don't really need it. I didn't even have to show it. Imagine my leaving cert that I did my leaving cert. So I couldn't tell you, but I did well enough because I remember one of the teachers saying to me I did well enough. I didn't really even look at it, like literally, because the time with the predicted grades, funny enough, I didn't look at my leaving cert because we couldn't get a physical copy because of the time of COVID and all that crack. So you had to do it online. You had to do it. You get a code to put it online, and I never did it for a year. I never done it for a year. I never looked it up until a year later. That's how long it took until I got the code because it never bothered me else to for it. So it took me years. I only found out, when was it? 2020. Yeah, I done my leaving cert in 2021. I only found out in 2022 or something like that, or 2023 about it. So, but I find it out. If I'm looking at it again, the leaving cert, but I don't think it will be. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere here. But I done well. No, I can't say. I wouldn't say a number because I'd probably be wrong. Excuse me. Sorry. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Sorry, just 2 seconds. So yeah, so just after been an out, sorry. From the Middle East. Just after been. We talked at the beginning of the stream. So the girls a ceasefire, thankfully. Touch wood again. Hopefully, what the fuck is this? But yeah, so thankfully, touch wood, it all goes well. The hostages will be returned. There'll be a ceasefire. There'll be no more killing, etc., etc. So please God, that's the end of it. Please God, that's a done. Hopefully, because again, over a year and it's 46,000 or something like 50,000 people dead, mainly children and women. Again, as I say. So please God, that's the end of it. Hopefully, it's so there's 3 stages to this ceasefire. So hopefully all goes well. This is the 4th stage, so it begins on Sunday. So please God, it's the end of it. Hopefully, please God, and the suffering end. But I welcome it. It's a good thing because again, you remember for a long time, over a year, they were saying about ceasefire, peace treaty, all this. So thankfully, it came to fruition now. So I can only hope and pray that it keeps to it, and hopefully, please God, it does. And that all the suffering will end. Hopefully, please God. But yeah, it's a long road ahead. But as I because this is phase 1. There needs to be phase 2 and phase 3. So hopefully, touch wood, all goes well, and hopefully it sticks to plan. But only reason why this was done because Donald Trump's coming in, pretty much. We can only hope for the Ukrainian war too. Hello, 420. We can only hope for the Ukrainian war to end too. Hopefully, please God, too. So there'll be no more senseless wars around the place. Yeah, hopefully it does. Hopefully, please God, it does. But hopefully it does. But again, Donald Trump hopefully will keep it going. Keep the peace. Keep the peace. Hopefully, because that's the only reason why this is happening. Because Donald Trump is going into the presidency. You have to remember, Donald Trump is going to be inaugurated on Monday. Yeah, like people turned him in live. You could see it. He was trying to calm people down. Like he was kind of doing that with his hands, like trying to shut them up. And then it didn't work. And the rest is history. Like they all turned against him mid speech. Like people were just, I think, sick of it. Like I think they were all just sick of it and just wanted it to end. Or you get what I'm saying. But it's an interesting thing because pretty much that's happened just mid speech. People just turned against them and stuff. Yeah, but hopefully that again, as I say, hopefully there'll be peace treaty there. Too in Ukraine too, because again, at the end of the day, people are still being slaughtered, and people, mothers losing their sons, father, losing their fathers, etc. You get what I'm saying? People are losing their lives, and we just want that to end. That's I think that's the main goal of Ireland. Should be the main goal of Ireland too, to try and stop the killing on all sides, regardless of who it is. Just stop anybody from being killed, and that's just the main thing. Hopefully, there'll be some kind of understanding and peace. Isn't it next Monday? Isn't that Monday, Sean? Or maybe our time it's Tuesday. But hopefully this is the Gaza conflict. Please God, hopefully it does, and hopefully the Ukrainian one will end soon. Hopefully too, because far too many people again has died in the 2 conflicts. Far too many people. It's just endless suffering for no reason. As Sandra Marin said the other day, it's all money and power. That's all it is. It's all about money and power. It's nothing else. That's all it is. The rich keep getting richer, and the poor keep getting poorer. You know what I'm saying. Greenface, hello. How are you doing? It's good wise as I've seen you. How are you doing? But yeah, so that's good news. I'm happy to hear that. Hopefully, because again, hopefully it sticks. Because again, ceasefires can be so fragile. If one thing happens, it could start a whole another ball. But please God, it doesn't. I'm sure we all agree. Hopefully, it doesn't. Hopefully, that's the end of it. Yeah, go on, Gordon. Because it's just I'm sure everybody agrees. Far too many innocent people died, and far too many innocent children, particularly young children, had nothing to do with anything. They didn't deserve to be bombed and killed and slaughtered. Nobody deserves that. And again, it's all the American industrial complex. They're the only people who benefited from it. The United States military industry. That's the only people that benefited producing arms and bombs, pretty much. I'm sure you would agree. That's the only people that benefit. Talks in Finnish. No, I don't. What am I talking? I'm confused where I am now. I'm Joe Biden. Oh, poor Joe. He believed in us. Joe Biden, wake up. We won't get to see Joe anymore. Speaking of drugs in barracks and stuff, when is this from? Oh, this is from last year. I remember this actually. We discussed again. I think I discussed at the time, but just because we were discussing drugs and stuff. So, feeding forward to what's the legalize? Well, not legalize, but not make it a criminal problem. I suppose. If that makes any sense, I don't know if that makes any sense anyway. Um, but I don't agree with that because the HSC, as I say, be strained to the limit if that happens. So, two things Defence Forces at the moment. First of all, the Irish Defence Forces, Air Corps, excuse me, have purchased this, and that's right. This is a missile. No, this is a missile. These are missile. Well, no, this is minigun. So it has a minigun on it, and it can have missiles too on it. So I don't know if this is the missiles and the machine gun. I could be wrong. So basically, this is a military helicopter. So this is an armored helicopter with guns. So this is a long. It's a long time since the Irish Army, the Air Corps, have any fighter. Well, not these are not fighters; these are helicopters. So they're getting three of these, I think. Um, four. These are four helicopters. So we finally have something to shoot stuff out of the ground, out of the sky, if anything comes to fruition. So yeah, the Airbus can carry weapons, including machine guns, rocket the missiles. So there we go. We're finally taking over the skies. Even though I would say this is my argument here. Just hear me out for a second. Hear me out. They should have bought fighter aircraft instead of helicopters. They should have bought fighter aircraft because at the end of the day, I don't think these military helicopters are worth a damn. I think the fighter planes would have been better. Four fighter planes would have been better because we have no fighter aircraft. These are the only military grade helicopters we have that can fire stuff. The other helicopters are unarmed civilian helicopters, transport helicopters. We use them. But this is the thing. Listen to this. Who are we going to get to fly these helicopters? Because at the moment, they're the same as the Navy. You have to remember. I think people remember the Army helicopter in Dublin, the door flying off the Army helicopter when it was in the air. They haven't got the technicians to man. So pretty much these helicopters have to be maintained. They haven't got the people to maintain the helicopters in the Irish Air Corps. They haven't got enough people. And they haven't got enough trained pilots in the Irish Air Corps to fly. So why are they buying the helicopters when they have nobody to fly them? Just to say, it's not coming into 2 years' time. But what I'm trying to say is the Air Corps doesn't have the means now. So are they going to have the means in 2 years' time? Because remember, they bought the two ships off New Zealand. Them ships are lying in dock now. They have nobody to man them ships because logic, So there, yeah. Apaches, no. But yeah, so these are the ones. I don't know why they possessed them to buy them. I would have told them to buy fighter jets instead of that. No, we don't have it. Well, the government's pretty much guaranteed at this stage. So it's going to be Fianna Fáil, the usual crack, and a few independents, Mikey Healy-Way and Danny Healy-Way. That's about it, Greenface. So pretty much next Wednesday, the Dáil returns on the 22nd, next Wednesday. So pretty much it's confirmed the government, that's the government, pretty much. Paul Kiowa, he's no addition, that Paul Kiowa. There's no, like, he was crying before he left. I'm sure you remember me saying this. Like, he was crying before he left that everybody was celebrating him leaving. Like, everybody was cheering about him leaving. I was cheering myself about him leaving. But imagine there was no, oh, thank you for your service, Paul. You're doing great work. Everybody was cheering for him to leave, Like, he was no addition. He was no good. No good. He was no good as Minister for Defence. Like, I would say he's the worst minister for defence. For me, have Martin take that. He doesn't even believe in the Irish Army should have its own sovereignty, to be totally honest with you. Yeah, I knew that. An ambitious ship. We never don't even mention that to the Irish government because we never get something like that. Like we can't even get ships on the water, so don't talk about amphibious ships. So yeah, just speaking about cocaine and all this, you probably remember this from last year. A member of the Feds force was facing drug charges over a seizure in Collins Cork barracks. This is an insane amount. Like this is 26,000 euro worth of cocaine in the army barracks. Is this following the true fins? Because this seems to be ordered. So this was last year. So this is a military court, isn't it? I think it's up in court now. This is a military court. Like this is a military tribunal. Like it's not. If you remember the Feds forces, it's not an only civilian trial. It's a member of the Feds forces. Like you get it's not a jury it's a military tribunal, which is not much. Again, he broke the law. He has to face his consequences. Today, gosh, yeah, military. Well, we would call it here military tribunal. That'd be the right word here. But still, at the end of the day, he done it. He broke the law. He has to face the consequences, particularly as a Southern member of the Irish Defence Force and on the barracks of the Irish Defence Forces too, an army base. He got what he deserved. He's going to get what he deserves because he was on the military grounds with 26,000 euro worth of cocaine. It begs the what do you mean? Where's the folks? What folks? Excuse me, so I'm dying. But yeah, so no, we know. Hopefully, they don't show him anymore. See, anyway, because particularly as I say, and you probably think I'm a bit cruel when I say about the members of the Feds forces. What's there today? All right. But yeah, it's over members of the Feds forces or people in Garda Síochána. You should be, if anybody breaks the law of you in Garda Síochána or the Feds forces, more than an only Joe, right? You should be held to more accountable because you're serving the country. You're supposed to uphold the Constitution. You're supposed to uphold the law. You get what I'm saying? If you break the law, you should be treated harshly. That's the idea in that. So I don't show any mercy to them, people who break the law like that. Particularly when they're serving members of the Feds force, they shouldn't break the road to serve the people of Ireland. And that's my opinion. More than an only Joe down the street, even though they should be prosecuted too. But you get what I'm saying? If you take an oath of allegiance to the country, particularly it's the more so into the Feds forces than in Garda Síochána, you take an oath to the Constitution, but you pledge your life into the Feds forces to the country to serve the country. So that's a lot more serious than on Garda Síochána. But obviously in Garda Síochána too, you pledge to uphold the law and the Constitution, etc., etc. But what does the Constitution matter in modern day Ireland? Because it's only brought up when it's relevant, because the Irish government just can't ignore it half the time. There was something else. What was this? There's something else to do with the Feds forces. Am I stupid or blind, or what's the story? Never mind, I can't find it. I turned off the. I paused the music. Sorry, I was thinking it was quiet. Is there anything else now I need to bring up? Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot something. Obviously, I probably should bring this up. I think I brought it up the other day too. But I didn't really probably, I had to pause it again. Actually, no, I don't pause it again because fucking I forget about it. So yeah, I mentioned this the other day. Santa Mowen said about it when she was in Dublin too. Uh, like at the end of the day, and I can't emphasize this enough. Greenland belongs to the Greenland people. Same as Ireland belongs to the Irish. I know that's so controversial. That's far right, extremist. But the Danish Prime Minister said the same thing pretty much. It's belonged to the Greenlandic people. It's up. What I mean by that is it's up to the Greenland people from Greenland, the 56,000 people from Greenland, to decide for themselves what they want. You know what their future is, or they want independence, or they want to stay with Denmark, or they want to stay with the United States. But this is the thing, just to remember. Why would they say we want to get rid of Denmark to join the United States? Why would give up? It's the same if, say, for example, Ireland. Oh, take for example, a good example would be Finland. Why would Finland take for example back 100 or 200? No, well, not 100 years ago, 300 years ago when it was under the rule of Swedish? Why would they say, I want to join the Russians? You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. But they didn't have much of a choice in the matter back then. But what I'm trying to say, why would you willingly leave one country and then join another country? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make much sense. But yeah, again, as I say, it's up to the people of Greenland to decide for themselves what's happened. And also, the Danish Prime Minister is very far right, extreme far right. Hello, YouTube police. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good accent, well, thank you. It's a bit of like cavan accents are very hard. I suppose you can understand it. Like cavan accents are like up in the border region, I suppose, of Ireland, Northern Ireland stuff. It can be difficult sometimes to understand. Like it's just speaking about accents. Actually, it's funny you mention it. Like just looking at my YouTube algorithm, there's that many people. Like, even though I'm speaking English, I think a lot of people don't think I'm speaking English. That's the funniest thing. Like some people from outside of Ireland and stuff that wouldn't really understand me. If that makes any sense. Americans are what winning. Well, I don't know. Not so much. I don't think it's to do with America mostly. It's people of Greenland. It doesn't really matter to America. Like we all know why Donald Trump wants it's for the natural resources that's there, etc., etc. That's the reason why. Like it's more on the like. I suppose Donald Trump's going to do it if American people like it or not. I suppose it's up to it's up to the Greenlandic people. That's what I'm saying because it is their land. They've been there for thousands of years. It is their country. At the end of the day, it's up to them to decide. It's the same with any country. I would say the same if it was Newfoundland. I would say the same if it's Canada, wherever. It's up to them to decide. But particularly, the one thing I'd say about Donald Trump is he shouldn't have said about ruling that military force. He shouldn't have said that to use against the Kingdom of Denmark. Whatever about the Panama Canal? I'd have no really arguments about the Panama Canal because technically it is American because America built it back in the day. You can really argue that, really. You can argue that bit. But not so much Greenland, But again, at the end of the day, the only way to do it is a referendum, just to say. It's up to the Greenlandic people to decide, Because there's no point forcing them to do something against their will, Yeah, but the Canadian. Oh yeah, well I don't know. Mentioned Justin Trudeau left. Well, I didn't leave. He was forced to go. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I don't think, even if they had a referendum, I don't think Greenland. I think they're rather independent. But this is the thing, and I don't think the news media and the mainstream media are listening to this bit particularly. It was said before, way back. I remember looking into Greenland and stuff like that back in the day, and only for the Kingdom of Denmark, like the people that's giving them money, they're giving them hundreds of billions of euro a year to keep the island going. There's only 56,000 people in Greenland. There's more people living in Cavan, just to say, than Greenland. But think about that for a second. 56,000. How could you make an economy? That's what I'm trying to say. How could you have an economy, really, pretty much? As especially as an independent country, you have to try and fund. Like Denmark gives them hundreds of millions for hospitals, for policing, for security, all that. You get what I'm saying? It'd be far too. It'd be no. A small country like Greenland couldn't afford that. I don't think. Without the Danish subsidies, if that makes any sense. If they were independent. Most again, yeah, I think the majority, like everybody, like it was Justin Trudeau was the same as Jacinda Ardern, if you remember New Zealand. They were well like when the force came in, like they were young people, they were young prime ministers. But particularly Jacinda Ardern went before him, way before him. But whole popularity dropped, etc., etc., particularly with the COVID vaccines, etc., in New Zealand, if you remember. And then obviously Canada too with the truckers, if you remember, few years ago. That didn't help him. But then obviously since then he's been on a downward spiral. No, I'm not saying Western should annex Greenland, even though they probably would want to become part of the Kingdom of because we have all the money. But no. But what I'm trying to say, it's up to the people of Greenland to decide themselves. And particularly after listening to Sana the other day say about it. Because obviously Denmark being a Nordic country, I suppose we'll call it. Or a Scandinavian country, I suppose we'll call it more than Nordic. Either one of the two, you can use the two phrases, I suppose, for Denmark. You wouldn't call Finland really a Scandinavian country, more call it the Nordic country. I think it's how you can argue into the cows come home what way you want to phrase it. But yeah, because technically Denmark is still Greenland too. It's the self-government dominion, etc., etc. Still part of the Kingdom of Denmark, etc., etc. But yeah, obviously the Nordic countries and the Scandinavian countries, whichever way you want to phrase it, get on very well. They work with each other very well and stuff like that. So obviously Sanna Marin would be very upset that another country wants to go in and take another bit of another territory's land, I suppose. And suppose, well, especially the military, I don't mind asking to buy the island or offering to buy it. But it's the fact that Matty didn't rule out military action. That's what I didn't like about it, that he just ruled out. He didn't rule out sending tanks or bombers or things. But the thing about it is that the United States Air Force has a base on Greenland anyway because it's a NATO territory. Yeah. Oh, well, it's an argue. The people can argue the cows come home about Nordic territories, Scandinavian territories. Some people would argue that, they're stuck. Greenland doesn't stand. But yeah, Greenland doesn't have its own army. It's the Denmark that defends it. It don't have a police force and stuff like that. Like it's not its own country pretty much. Like Denmark looks after it security wise and stuff like that. But they have their own police force. They have their own government. They have their own prime minister. It's just they don't look after the security and foreign affairs too. It's up to the Danish government to do it. It's a self-government dominion pretty much. But it pretty much is as independent nearly as we can get. But as I said, no, I just wanted to say it because people have asked me about that. And I said a bit the other night about it, but I don't think it went into too much detail about it. The Calmar Union, no, we're not going back to that. I don't think any Danish and Norwegian people would want that. To be honest. Yeah, but I think so too. To be honest, I think you're correct in that. But I don't know about Greenland. Like Greenland's only small. Well, it's the biggest island in the world. Yeah. Going for tonight, who knows? To be honest, I know Tony's in 3 hours. We see. It won't be 3 hours. Probably only going to another half an hour. I say. We see. There's a few more things I want to find here. Excuse me. Sorry, apologies. So I just want to bring you this. No, I don't think it's considered an island. I don't know. I think that's considered a continent more than an island. I'm not too sure. Maybe you're right in that. Don't quote me, actually. You might be right. But I think they classify that as a continent. But the way Ireland's kind of classed as its own. Like Australia is that big, they're probably classified as a continent. But Greenland is that big. Like you probably think Greenland's only small. Yeah, I might be wrong. You could be right. I don't know actually. That's actually a good question. I don't know actually. But I think the continent. Yeah, yeah. Australia. So is it? Yeah, we see. One way to find out. But Greenland is big. Like you might not take it. It might look like only ice and stuff, but it is a big island. Like it is a huge island. Let me see. Australia is nearly 4 times larger than Greenland. Never mind, I'm wrong. Is Australia a continent? But well, Australia is a big country too, I suppose. Yeah, but it says Australia is larger. Jeez, we're asking the serious questions here. Yeah, it seems to be. We're not good. We're getting. It seems like it'd be a big debate about it because I'm not really getting an answer. Is it like technically a continent or country? We're not going there because I don't know really myself. We don't answer. But yeah, definitely Australia is a bit larger than Greenland, but it is a big country now. Greenland. When you look at the map, it is big. It's bigger than Ireland, definitely 100%. Um, anyway, I just want to bring you this. This is from Great Media, and unfortunately, this is the sad reality of many people in this country, particularly in the Dublin area, but across the country too. A mother of two, and you do feel for these poor people that they're waiting long. It's not their fault. They're waiting 12 years in the house, council house and waiting list. Um, it's a terror. Like the 13 years, like give or take 13 years or so on a council house and waiting list. Like it's just insane when you really sit down and think about it. It's insane. Um, it's heartbreaking, particularly when you have two young. I presume it's young children. It doesn't say their age. Because I was just looking at when I was talking to you there. Yeah, it's like I feel sorry because I can relate to this myself. Send it to your local TD, and this is pretty much the response you get. Standard emails. Oh yeah, by the way, response. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. It's a sad state of affairs, especially when you contact your TD and stuff like that. They don't even give you they don't even give you the minute to talk to them. They just send you an email, yada yada yada. Because they just don't want to talk to people. They don't want to be talking to people. That's all. But it's a sad situation. And again, there's hundreds like Go, unfortunately. Not even just in Dublin, even in County Cavan. There's probably, as we speak now, probably 10, 15 people probably in the same position as this woman in Cavan alone. And she shouldn't have to. She shouldn't have to go through this. But, as I say, these people coming in from Timbuktu and stuff like that, like this is the thing. This woman's waiting 13 years. There's people coming in from Timbuktu and they're getting everything handed them before they even land on the shore. It doesn't make much sense, but logic doesn't work in this country, unfortunately. Because this woman's more entitled to it than people here turning up on the boat. And it's straight up the truth. She's waiting 13 years. She's waited her time. Nobody can argue she waited. She didn't wait long enough. Nobody can argue that point. But, for people turning out of the blue expecting free stuff, they shouldn't be getting it. Because this woman's waiting, again, 13 years. It's a lot. It is a long time, to wait for a house. You're thinking out loud here. You would probably win the lotto quicker, yeah. Like, with that such a winning, you pretty much win the lotto if you get a house. Who's Santa's moment, though? She doesn't have a husband at the moment. Oh, see an arrow on the page, yeah. We'll probably just type up, Go to live in Finland then. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, no. Sure, mistakes can happen. I'm dyslexic. If you ever look at my community posts around to that, like I'm dyslexic. Even if I looked at it, have you ever used a streaming service? Oh, like Netflix stuff? Yeah. Well, I don't know what you mean, but like what do you mean? They've watched Netflix. I don't really watch now, but But I'm dyslexic, just saying, like say for example, if I'm writing a community post now, if you look at my community post, there's probably tons of spelling mistakes. Even if it affects your spelling, and speech. It does affect a bit your speech. Not so much your speech, but it's more writing and reading and stuff like that. That's what affects it. Oh, talk. I No, I don't think you ever have. No, I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have. No, a panel. Oh yeah, well, I probably end up blowing something up. Uh, but yeah, no, but so yeah, you had to understand. If ever I'm writing something, or you see me writing the title of a video into that, uh, things would be easier. Yeah. Oh, well, we work with what we work with this for the moment, anyway. So I get what you're saying. There probably is way easier ways. Um, but I just if something works, don't don't. If something works, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Let's put it. Favorite cake, vanilla cake. I always love vanilla. Chocolate cake too is nice, lovely too. I take all the cakes. Let them eat cake. You over 18? Yes, of course. Geez, how do you look younger to that? Too? Yeah, how do you take on a pension? Wedding cakes. Oh, that's what you're asking me about wedding cakes. Of course. I didn't put two and two together. Yeah, but not even that. Like, I don't know. Are you from Ireland? Like, just I know. I don't mean to ask you possible, but are you from Ireland? Because if you're from Ireland, you probably heard it before. I mentioned it before on the stream many times. I don't know if you're from Ireland. Because if you're from Ireland, you probably heard it. I just want to know how to explain it, because if you're not from Ireland, I might have to explain it a bit more. If that makes any sense. And because at the moment, I try and explain it. I suppose the brief version of it. At the moment in time, when you go to a church, say for example, go to church, right? Say for example, to get married. Um, yeah, well, no, but in Ireland, if you get married in the church, say for example, uh, I think they've done a survey quite recently, probably a few months ago, 5 months ago, I heard it in Ireland. Uh, it takes about 50k, 50k or 60k to get married in Ireland at the moment. That's how much it takes an average. An average wedding with just a cake, an only church service in the church, and a wedding reception afterwards, and the wedding cake and all that. That's how much it takes, because things are that expensive in this country just to get married. You know, that's why a lot of people in Ireland now, if they're going to get married for tax purposes and stuff, go to the registry office because it's only 100 or so euro. But that's how much it's about in Ireland. An average wedding, it's about 50k or so, 60k. That's just to get married. That's not talking about buying a house or anything like that. Like, it is an average that, yeah. Because that's what, like, if you look at the rates from 2010 up until now, there's nobody at all getting married. Like, literally nobody nearly at all in this country getting married. Uh, Used to be loads to be back then. Nobody gets married nearly nowadays at all, because it's too much money. And then having to buy a house and all that, it's too much for a lot of people. It's gone way beyond the only people's money. That was that. But that's how much it usually costs in Ireland. An average, an only Joe wedding, not a big elaborate wedding, but an only one. That's how much you'd be forking out for the hotel and receptions of. Not just the money. Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't want to get married anyway, but and then obviously a lot of people get divorced. Not, but that's what I'm saying. That's how much it cost. Um, like there was a survey out that done it, and that's what came back. Like it said, Ireland was one of the highest, like in Europe, for weddings and stuff like that. That's what they said. Because obviously it makes sense, because it's this fucking country. Everything has to be the most dearest thing in the world here. Yeah, Lenny, you're there, Lenny. But that's how much things have gone up. Like kegs and stuff, everything's gone up. It's and then for the wedding count too. If you're getting a wedding count, so like everything's gone up. Like the price of a funeral too has gone up too. Um, and stuff like that. It's gone up, like it has gone up. Even getting a priest and stuff like that. There was somebody in Cavan. You know the way when somebody dies, you get a mass card. You know the way the local priest signs a mass card, and they always charge you a few bob, whatever it is. Like I got one there last year for somebody. It was about 10 euro for the priest. He's to sign it. Uh, like some part of Cavan, somebody was charged 20 euro just to get the priest to sign the mass card, not to write the card, but just to sign his name on it. The condolence card, I suppose we'll call it too. But that's what I'm saying. It's all money. It's gone up. So if I went now, it'd probably be 20 euros to be looking for me. Um, you know, if that makes any sense, because things have gone up. It's the same if you're probably getting a funeral, like a funeral probably would go up. Probably other things, coffins probably gone up. Everything's gone up. But see, the thing too about it is the price of diesel has gone up, and obviously transport and stuff costs more, etc., etc. You know, yeah. But no, but that's what I'm saying. That's how much it would be, and for suits and stuff. If you were getting a proper wedding, that's how much it would be. Because this country is a whip off, more than that. That's why people go. I seen actually when speaking about weddings, there was a woman. There was this young lass that used to go to my school. It was a few years behind me, right? She's about now. Obviously, she's out of secondary school now. She'll be only a year or so out of secondary school. But actually, interesting. You want to know where they went, the father and mother. They weren't married. Imagine she's probably going on 19 now. And they're only getting married now. Their father, her whole father and mother. Guess where they went? Guess where they went to have the wedding? Guess where they went? You wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when I heard it too. Because I was like, oh, they'll probably go to Spain. Because I heard of people going to Spain to get married because it's cheaper in Spain. It's only something like 10,000 to get married in Spain or something like that. Like that's how it is in Spain or something, in Portugal. It's only about 10,000. They went to South Africa. They went to South Africa. It was like, why are you going to South Africa? Like, why are you going 15 hours on the plane to South Africa? You're going to Cape Town in South Africa. Why did you go there? What took you there? Like, they wouldn't go to Finland because Finland nearly be as worse as here in terms of spend. Like, they went to South Africa. Like, I don't know why they went there. Like, they have no relations there. They just went to South Africa. It must be because it's the cheapest place they found. So I don't know. Like quite literally South Africa they went to. Man, I would show you how like what they call what's it called? Like I follow her on Twitter. That's what I and she put up pictures of her in South Africa, and I just happened to see the other day. And then I found out her father and mother was getting married. So I was like, "Why is she doing it in South Africa?" And that was the reason why. So I wasn't talking to her. If I get talking to her, I ask her. The only thing I know is the father and mother got married, went to South Africa. I don't know because I know of somebody in my class. Their mother was getting married again to another man, um, in Spain. They went off to Spain in the summertime. So everybody going abroad to get married if they're going to get married here. Because as I say, it's only about 10,000 something in Spain, like for the wedding that you would have here, pretty much. Like they basically want an arm and a leg off you here. Good standard of living, yeah. Especially it seemed like when to did they hire private security? I don't know. I don't think it included private security. It only included the wedding venue, the church, the suits, and the car tickets. That's all. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't even die now without them charging you for that. You know. Mm-hmm. Organize the wedding. No, we're just talking about the wedding. How do we even start on the wedding? Oh, I know why. I don't even start. Yeah, and I know why now. So stop. uh, Under a bicycle shed, you better go and buy a bicycle shed. Yeah, buy a bicycle shed. That'd be a good one gift. Buying a bicycle shed. Bicycle shed. Surely, surely. No, we did, but there's a lot of tax benefits to getting married. You get so much knocked off your taxes and stuff. Um, you know, like there's tax benefit to it. There's logic to the madness. You know, if that makes any sense. But I suppose it's good to be married and stuff like that. That you wouldn't be like. I suppose it's a bit more of a commitment than if you're in like a relationship. I suppose you're a bit more committed. You have to be a bit more committed. You know, especially if you're spending all that money, you have to be committed with the right woman. You know, you wouldn't want to be going around every night. You know, stuff like that. No, we're not going to be wearing that. No, we're not going to be wearing that. No, not that way. But you know, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of divorce. Yeah, years ago it used to be not common. Divorces and stuff like that. So nobody gets married anyway nowadays. There's no divorce because nobody gets married, but it's more common than there was before. Hello, Moonhunters. There's a moderator. I don't know who was asking me about moderators the other day. There's a moderator. How are we doing? There's the man, the UFO guy, as we call him. Tony was missing you all the time, Moonhunters. We're all getting bad now. We're not. Sure, nothing's going. See, the moderators just pawn. They come in whenever they want to. You know. There's not much need to have. It'd be different if there's 6,000 people in the chat or something. Like, we need moderators. But usually nothing really ever happens, really, technically. I can't even remember the last time we banned somebody for doing it. It's a good while ago. The only time I remember we got rid of one person one time because he said something in the pub. We're not got rid of him, but we put him in timeout. That was the only time. That was a few months ago, but that was it. We didn't get rid of him, but you know. Hello, said the people out there. How are you doing? It's been a good while since we've seen you. I'm trying to look through the chat and I just see a wall of text, and I have to remember which one I'm at because it's awkward when you kind of look away for a second and you look back to the chat. You have to remember where you are. You know, that's the hardest thing. Let me see. How's on the cavan hood? Well, it's all right. Nothing too major happening. All seems to be going well. And apart from this Mordor, that's kind of got the county in a bit of a well, especially Mordor, I suppose, in a small rural county like Cavan would cause a bit of a store. But apart from that, everything else is it's great. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that made any sense at all. Chat is hopping. Yeah, everybody's hopping. It's all this cocaine that was in the Finnish parliament. And no, we're not go there. We don't have to go there. Um, well, did I miss anything? Sorry, I probably missed something. No, I don't think I did. Don't think this. Because oftentimes, you see, the problem with this is with this computer, I can only see what's on the screen. I can't move it up for some reason. Don't know why. I probably don't have the right version of YouTube. That's probably the problem. That could be it. It can get 100,000 by Christmas. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? Logan Paul or something like that? No, I'm happy. I wouldn't want 100,000 people here. It'd be too hectic. Because trying to read everything it'd be nightmarish. Like, and not even that 100,000 people watching it'd be too much. I wouldn't hide. Too much. No, we far too much. 100,000. Imagine, like, I don't know how people live streaming with 200,000 or so people watching. And then what I mean by that is look at the chat and stuff. Say, you can't type all the day. Yeah, it's a lot of people now. That's a good thing. It's a good thing to say. Just know everybody's saying hello. Said to people. I'd be on the poll. What poll? Which what? So see, some people say something, and then I hope me and my dog are going out for a smoke in a few minutes. Well, I hope the legal kind of smoke, a cigarette or something, not the other smoke, because there's a lot of talk about drugs in this chat tonight. But it's all these true Finns, you see. Super Junior Minister, for which, well, like, it won Super Junior Minister over everything. Like, Michael Healy is going to be a junior minister for agriculture, isn't it? Yeah, agriculture. Papa Hackett is gone, so she got the boot. And then I don't know who'll be the other junior ministers. It's going to be three anyway, I think. It's the four. I can't remember. It's hard to remember it all. But long story short, let's put it this way. They're all going to get paid anyway. They're all going to get their big salary as minister. They're not doing it for nothing. Don't worry. They're not volunteer. And my focus empowerment as well seems. Yeah, but see, as one, I was talking to another woman actually yesterday when I was waiting for the bus after work yesterday, and she said, and this woman would be about maybe going on 70, right? And she said life was more simpler back years ago. Things are too complicated. Things are just too complicated nowadays to understand. Things, anything goes pretty much. Years ago was a straight path. Things are more simpler. Nowadays things are not simple. Everything is as complicated as possible. And she's right. She is right in that things were more simple. Life was more simpler too. And I do think what she said too. People were more happier back then too. I think people were happy with the simple life. Nowadays it's just consumerism, etc., etc. I talked about this many times before. I always want them more and more and more. Not being happy with what we have, I suppose. But I suppose you can't fault people. That's just the way society's gone. Society's changed over years. It's just the way society's gone, unfortunately. It's the same with wedding things. Weddings nowadays is probably unique. Like there's such thing as wedding planners. Years ago, people wouldn't have to employ somebody to plan a wedding. Now there's such thing as wedding planner. How I know that because I seen somebody in the town one time, and they were saying they're going to get a wedding planner, and pay them a few thousand to plan the wedding. Like it's insane. Addicted to social media. Well, yeah, that too. But I don't know. It's a weird world, and it's not, even when I was growing up, it was a lot more simpler. Things are a lot more complicated nowadays. I don't know. It's hard to describe in many terms. It's different. Every inch of society, it's hard to talk about. And I suppose this didn't it too, as well. So it's affecting a lot of people. But even out and about and stuff like that, nobody's talking to each other anymore. Everybody has their head in their phone. Makes any sense. Like when I was younger too, just going around in the evenings after work around that. When I was younger, there used to be hundreds of kids out playing football, doing different things. Now you wouldn't find one. They're all inside playing their games and stuff. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it could be important, not to be outside all the time, of course. But none of that nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah, that's all gone. Them days are gone, long gone. Uh, you wouldn't see a child out playing football or anything like that nowadays, like in the street or anything like that. It's insane. And especially when you see such young children too, I keep thinking about it too. Every day I'm in the town, etc. So you see young children, not even 5, like on phones, so playing games on phones and stuff like that. It's insane. And they know how to. And if you give me a phone when I was 5, I couldn't tell you what it even was, let alone how to use it. But yeah, no, it's insane to take with it too. But look, I don't know. What about Finland? What are you laughing about? I didn't even mention Finland, so don't even start. Yeah, it's not safe too, but nobody really wants to go out. Like if you go around, say if you went around the town and all, and take for example, I don't know, randomly, for argument's sake, let's say Casablanca. No, not we say Casablanca, right? Casablanca, County Monaghan. For argument's sake, just first town that came into my head. For Casablanca, we go up to Casablanca now. We knock on all the doors in Casablanca and ask them, do the children go out and play stuff? Would they go out and play, even if we employed, say, private security in their estate for a week, just as a social? I know that sounds wrong, but a social experiment to see would they go out and play. They still wouldn't go out and play. That's what even though I get what you're saying, it's not safe as it used to be. Years ago, you could leave your child in the middle of the street and leave him there for a month, and they come back and he'd be still there. Unfortunately nowadays, if you left your door unlocked, the whole house would be gone and you'd be gone too. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I get what you're saying in that regard. But again, there was more trust. People could trust each other and stuff like that. So, look, for sure, I did not say that. No, but I was only saying. No, I was only saying for argument's sake. If we did, no child would go out and play. Let's put out like playing football or stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like them days are long gone. What I'm trying to say. That's my point in it. I didn't mean it that way now. But but unfortunately, there's people like that. Unfortunately, I suppose it is too. You never know who's around in society nowadays. Unfortunately, as we see now, the one with the convicted terrorist just wandering around the country. You just never know, and that's the thing. But see, people knew each other back. People knew their neighbours, except nowadays you don't. There's a lot we could go in for hours and hours and hours talking about it. I missed Darren Only's comment there. I was going to read and they're gone. How they both say. But see, it's too much. Things are too fast nowadays. That's the problem. Especially if young kids, it's a lot of work. It's a 24-hour day job. Like I remember when I was in the hotel room in Dublin just before I was about to go to the conference last week. Would you believe it was this day last week? I was in Dublin too. Like it's something like €57,000 a year for a stay-at-home mother. Say for example, a stay-at-home father. The amount of work they do, how much it's worth. €57,000. Think about that for a second. Like a stay-at-home mother. 57,000. That's how much it's worth in a job if you're getting paid for it. Like it's I suppose you can't put a price that too because you have to do the dishes. It's always working, constantly working. It's not a 9 to 5 thing. It's constantly. Like it's a hard work. Didn't turn up the day of his wedding. He didn't want to pay the bill, probably. Yeah, but people get cold feet and stuff. Yeah, no, I don't mean to laugh at that, but you get what I'm saying. If he was a cavan man, that's what he do. He planned the wedding, and then when the bill came along, he wouldn't turn up, and then you have to pay it. That would be pretty lousy if somebody done that now. But probably is. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't mean to laugh. Sorry, apologies. Sorry, apologies. Give me 2 seconds. Apologies. Yeah. Might do. We'll probably stay for a few more minutes and then we call it quits for tonight. There's a few more things we could talk about. We'll probably leave it there. I think we yapped on for a good bit about different things. I kind of jumped from one thing to the other. See, if I stayed talking about things over and over and over, I'd drive you all mad. What is wrong here now, sir? Oh, that was the cafe. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they wouldn't leave the cafe. We should look at you know, what is this now? I don't know if any. I know this is just random. If anybody plays GTA 5 on the PC, I don't know if anybody's seen this new mod that came out for it. Um, like it was a Liberty City conversion into GTA 5. Rockstar Games have taken it down, so I don't know if anybody sees that. Anybody who plays GTA 5 went on the PC. It's a shame. I watched a few videos on it. Like, it was quite good work they done. It was mod. I know it's irrelevant to everything I'm talking about, but just because it's a bit sour because somebody went in and didn't get paid to do it and done it for volunteer to do it. So, and then the company comes along and destroyed it. You know, it's not really right in the way too. But it's supposed they own the IP. I suppose too. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably seen it. But yeah, no, it's not Rockstar really. It's Take Two Interactive, the parent company. You know, like they didn't get paid the people that brought it over to GTA 5. You know, and it's only a mod too. It's not causing Rockstar or anything. Like, it's not like they're charging people to use it and things like that. But just seeing it there, I think that's pretty lousy. Like it is pretty lousy. But I wouldn't mind if it was a brand new game. Yeah, before GTA Online, like back in the day when GTA 4 and stuff like that, they used to promote mods. They used to show off mods and stuff. Rockstar. They used to, say this is a good mod. I remember the zombie mod for GTA 4. I used to watch videos on it. The game and Lemon and stuff like that back in the day. And they used to promote that. The Rockstar Games itself used to promote it, saying this is great work. The community's making great mods. Nowadays, they don't care because, as you say, it's GTA Online. It's a cash cow, pretty much. One away pride. But yeah, no, it's GTA. It's GTA Online. GTA 6 would be here by now, only for GTA Online. Like, that's straight up the truth. I know it's we went from politics and marriage and talk about getting married to GTA 5. Like imagine doing this as a podcast. We're talking about marriage and getting married and all that. We'd be like Father Ted, you're getting married and stuff like that. And then we want about true fins, and then all of a sudden we've done a 980 to GTA 5, GTA 6. You know. And then we were talking about drugs. It'd be funny if you're putting that down now. um, like it'd be crazy if you put it down on timestamps. We start talking about this, and then we went to this, and then we went to that. When you really think about it, it's funny. It's quite funny. Like we're all over the place. Tomorrow is Thursday. Oh ho! Got any hash? Willie O'Deed has the hash. Willie has all the hash. He has it on his tash there. Willie hides all the drugs underneath the tash. That's where he puts them up. The widow is far white. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, Leah Boylan, the one who was wonderful president. She thinks the widow is far white now, and widow ones are far white. So if you disagree with a widow one, a wedding warning, a wedding warning. I think I said a wedding warning. You used to have me addicted to weddings. Now I'd be looking up weddings all night. A wedding warning, but a weather warning, If you criticize that at all, say, "Oh, it should be this," you're far white. You're worse than the true Finns. You know, um, like I think that's what I said the first time, and I didn't. I caught myself saying it because I have a weird way of saying with W's, weather. No, what's it? What the way? I don't know. I heard myself saying wedding warning. That's what I heard the first time, and I corrected myself. That'd be funny. I know I generally do think I said that for the first time because I caught myself saying it. I heard myself say it. I wouldn't know, but only if I heard myself say it. Like definitely 100%. If I've played this back, I definitely said that. I don't know why he said it. It's all just talk of weddings. But yeah, Liam Boylan thinks weather is far away now. So. Great stuff. Sinn Féin's definition of far right is expanding. And again, this is the thing. So everybody must be far right now in Ireland, because it's the same if I go into any shop now in the morning. And, oh, so how are you doing, Adrian? How's the crack? Any fun? Oh, sure, not much. And then you go into the weather, you talk about the weather. Oh, the weather outside, not much additional, not much of weather at all now. Instead, they're going to take up, this is the Irish talk. And we're allowed, particularly in Cavan. It's always like, oh, Jesus, the weather is no good. Oh, sure, look at it. What kind of a summer will we have now? It's always fucking raining and all that. And then you'd be talking to the farmers and stuff. Oh, they'd be like, oh, sure, you couldn't do anything that day. Oh, sure. No. That's what I'm saying. So, you couldn't go by Met Heron either. Well, you couldn't go by Met Heron, that's the truth. Often you hear the farmers saying you couldn't go by them. They wouldn't know their ass from the elbow in Met Heron. Do you ever do stand up? No, I don't. I don't want to either. Just take it away by an ambulance. Wouldn't take it to any help. What's happened? An elderly neighbour he was taken by an ambulance. Like he was put into an ambulance. Like, is he all right now? I hope. Because if he needs, he should go to the hospital. I know people wouldn't want to go to the hospital and stuff like that. But if he needs to go, he needs to go. No, I don't want to get hit by a signpost like Theresa Mannion. Please not. Well, that's only an AI again. Well, yeah. What time is it? What time you saw the sunlight? When's the time you last saw the sunlight? Oh, it was sunny today. Like, it was quite good today. It was sunny today. Like, today was actually all right. The other days were drizzly, pissy days, but today was sunny enough. It was all right. It was middling. It was all right. Good enough, but no way I went up. It was all right. See, I only remember this now, actually, do. I have to record this video. I was supposed to put a video up about this conference that I went to last week. I actually forgot about it. They put it up. Like, not about the conference, but about the video they put up, because I explained it on live stream and stuff like that, so it'd be better to probably explain it on video too. Different things. Not a whole essay on it, but just the brief summary for people who are interested. But yeah, watch the last live stream before the up with the conference, because it said a lot about it. It's a long 2 days conference. It's a long story. Bad news. Yeah, we're trying to get anybody to go to the hospital. Nobody really wants to go because you're lying in an accident emergency for a good few hours before you're seen to. Take for example, even just my father. You had to wait an hour in an ambulance at the hospital. Nobody really wants to do that, especially when you're ill or sick. Nobody really wants to do that. So, you get what I'm saying. So I understand. I understand that. Buffing. Oh fuck! Excuse me. Sorry. We'll probably give it a second. Hopefully it doesn't buff, but we'll see. It might be just joking. The West has fallen. It shouldn't be buffing, but because the internet is working fine. Excuse me. So it says. Allegedly, of course. Is it still buffing? Just so I know. We'll probably finish anyway in a few minutes. Oh, yeah, you can still see me, Jeff. What are you talking about? Oh, it is, or maybe it is buffing. You could be right. Oh, yeah, you can still see me. Yeah, okay, it's working. Watch out. So, yeah, bad news for everybody. What kind of question is that? I'm not even going to answer that one. I'm not even going to answer that one. Called this, I don't know. But anyway, long story short, it's joking. Well, I don't drink anyway, but for people that drink, I know people that drink, and it is pretty expensive. we'll go up by 6 cents in the total fare. We're bringing the drink of a pint to over €6. So it's €5 down here in the pub because I often hear the boys giving out, like not the boys, but the men down here, the local men giving out about it. Uh, Actually, funny enough, no, actually, when I was at the hotel in Dublin the other day, I didn't get a drink. I got a Lucasade. Lucasade was 5.40 or something like that in the hotel. I know Lucas said 5.40. Yeah, 5.40 in the hotel, but it was a 4-star hotel. Um, the fellow beside me was getting a Heidegen. You know Heidegen, not Guinness, a Heidegen, if you know what Heidegen is. And he was getting a pint glass of Heidegen. And that was €10. So I heard him saying it was €10. I actually never took alcohol in my life, and I'm proud not to. I never took a sip of alcohol in my life, so I'm not going to start now, to be totally honest. You know. But you know Heidegen, that was €10 for a pint, like a pint glass, like you've seen there. For him, I told him, and then my Lucas it was 5.40, 5.30, 5.40, something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's only a few cents of the difference. It was 5 something anyway. Yeah, that's why other pubs are dying. Cause it's too dear. Nobody has money. When you pay your rent, you pay electricity bill. If you have a car, God forbid. If you're paying a mortgage, God forbid. You have no money to spend at the end of the week. You simply don't. And then you buy a few groceries. You have nothing left at the end of the week. What money do you have left? That's why there was so much money years ago, because money lasted longer. The money you earned, you had money left over at the end of the week. Things were less dear. Like things years ago, it was feasible. Things were hard. Times were tough back then, but things could be accomplished. Things could be accomplished with hard work and stuff like that. Nowadays, you could work hard and get nothing out of it. You own nothing pretty much, if that makes any sense. Like people years ago could buy houses for 40,000, which sounds insane in Ireland. You could back then. Nowadays you'd be lucky to find a barn for that price. Um, it's insane when you really do think about it. But the other reason why they have to put it up too, because the price of fuel has gone up. Obviously, it takes money to bring the drink to the pub, so the price of fuel is added into that too. You know, Guinness is the go-to for you. Yeah, so it'll be up for you. It'll be 6 cents extra for you in February. Um, so yeah. Not interesting, but you pretty much. I never drank in my life. I never smoked either, or I never vaped, and I'm all the better for doing it. See, that's the Cavan people have it up here. Cavan people, we know how to save money. We save all the money. Think about this. But anyway, lads and lads, I think we probably nearly leave it out for tonight. So we went from drugs to weddings to true fins to drugs in the parliament again. We went to drugs into the defence forces. And then we went from that to talking about GTA. Then we went from that to talk about pints. Interesting stream. Yeah, to be totally honest. Doing a live stream tonight. I don't know. She probably is. Um, so is there anything else before we go tonight? Anything anybody want to say? Do you have anything to say? Uh, for heading one. Yeah, he's never going to stop me for that one now. He's never going to stop bringing that up now. But what I was going to say here, yeah, I will put that video out. I probably will record it later on. Just a brief summary of what happened last week. All the cool stuff that was happening. You know, um, no, pause. Yeah, that's the spirit. But yeah, look at lads and lads. We leave it there. We'll be back Saturday. As I say, put up that video tonight. I should record it tonight to be done with it, or maybe tomorrow. I might wait until tomorrow. I see. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow will be better. I'll do it tomorrow evening. I should have had it up today to be totally honest, because there's a week after the thing. So just a brief summary. I've already talked about it in a live stream, but just briefly summarising it for people. Um, but anyway, thank you everyone. Oh, was it this time last year or so? Yeah, it was about this time probably last year. Yeah, could have been. So yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. I talk to you. We might be live Friday actually. Forgot about that. With the game and live stream. We see how we go. I update you if I am. So yeah, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I talk to you Friday or Saturday. Have a video up tomorrow, and that's it. Thank you, and good night.